Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in today and just actually getting off the water. I had an on the water lesson today, and just wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to start booking the on the water lessons that I give through my Facebook page. So if you guys are interested on spending a day on the water with me, you can just shoot me a private message on my Facebook professional page, which is Randy Blockett Professional Angler. And I can give you all the details about that. I do on the water lessons on all the Southwest Missouri lakes, Arkansas, mainly Table Rock, Stockton, Grand Lake, Bull Shoals, all that type of stuff, Lake of the Ozarks. So if you guys are interested in that, shoot me a note. So hey, today I wanted to do something that, man, I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time, because it's sort of like, you know, I'm sort of an observer in the sport. I really like to casually observe human behavior. It's just sort of a hobby of mine. I always like that. And today's video is based upon that, as far as some observations I make. And that is how high testosterone levels are keeping you from becoming a better angler. It's keeping you from catching bass, and it's making you less safe when you're specifically talking about it in the world of bass fishing. So I sort of want to give you guys some thoughts on that, maybe give you my opinion on it a little bit, see what you think. First of all, high testosterone, I use that as a broad term. Basically, it's just an explanation for like a lot of what not only younger anglers do, but a lot of anglers that tend to be a little bit more aggressive on the aggressive side do. So it sort of encompasses all that. And and a lot of times this is associated with just being in a hurry. It's associated with fishing too fast. It's associated with not, basically just chilling out and relaxing. And I sort of want to give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. First of all, and I'm going to start from the time that I see it, from the time that it's over. And right off the bat, I notice it a lot on the way to the launch ramps in the morning, in a tournament specifically, or it can just be fun for fishing. One of the things I like to do when I'm driving to the ramp in the morning, it's usually dark, and I just like to take my time, just chill out, relax, drive the speed limit, not get in a big hurry. I can't tell you how much I get passed by dudes at 5 o'clock in the morning that are driving balls to the wall to the ramp, going 15 miles an hour over the speed limit, to get passing me to get to the ramp, only to get there and sit in the dark for 2 hours in the freezing temperatures. It's like they never really heard of the concept of hurry up and wait, because basically that's what they're doing. I see this all the time. Usually it's some dude in a jacked up pickup with a 6-inch lift kit on it, and just, kicking it in passing gear, going 60 miles an hour in a 35 on the way to the ramp in the dark. And that's one example of what I'm talking about. There's really just no need for that. Secondly, it gets to be when you're on the water, running to your first spot. Another thing I see about guys that, we're talking about overly testosterone, high testosterone, overly aggressive, is the way they drive the boat, specifically on the way to the first spot in the morning. It's almost like right off the bat in the morning, there's a segment of the anglers out there that they take that same aggression that they use driving to the ramp in the morning, and that's how they do to their first spot. They take off. If you guys have been in a tournament with 150 plus boats, you know how just as a zoo out there with boat wakes, they're running balls to the wall over the boat wakes. They're beating their partners to death. They get out there and they try to cut the corners. They cut between the bank and somebody running, 200 feet off the bank to try to beat them by 2 seconds. And it's just ridiculous. They're just beating themselves together, beating themselves and their partners completely up, not to save any time at all. And it's like once they get to the spot, sometimes they'll tend to slow down a little bit. But that's another thing that I see that is just absolutely ridiculous, guys. When you guys take off in the morning to your first spot, just chill out. Just cruise at a safe speed. Don't try to cut people off between a point and the boat. Don't try to pass somebody too close. Just chill out. It's not going to kill you to get there a minute later to be safe and keep your equipment in good shape and not beat your partner to death. That's another thing I see with the overly testosteroned out. Secondly, it's like once you get to your fishing spot, that's when you really have to settle down and you have to tap this testosterone down, because I can tell you guys right now, the faster you fish, the more aggressive the fish, the more aggressive that you fish on the water, the fewer fish that you're going to catch, by far. You don't have to get out there and make 6 billion casts per minute, put your rod down, try to, pick one up as quick as possible, jerk that trolling motor up, run to the back of the deck, run to your next spot, and before the boat's even up on plane, you're jumping up on the front deck. There's no reason for that. That's another reason I'm talking about, is you're getting yourself into a negative pace by doing that. Again, that's another factor of high testosterone. You did never see Guido Hibden doing that, and I can promise you, Guido Hibden caught more fish than most anybody that I'm talking about that's watching this video. I don't care if you're a pro or not, Guido Hibden probably outfishes you, and he's like a turtle in the boat. So from that standpoint, just chill out when you're fishing. Just take your time, take a deep breath, roll into your spot quietly, calmly, get out of your seat, go to the front of the boat, put your trolling motor down, just in a, nice, relaxed manner, and begin fishing. And one of the things that you're going to find out, guys, is in bass fishing, you catch a lot more fish if you slow down and fish at a good pace. I've never seen anybody that come in and say that they, were nervous and they had high anxiety that helped them catch fish. One of the best things you can do in a day, say for example, if you're having a tough day on the water, one of the best things that you can do is just take a minute. Just take a minute, sit down on the bottom of the boat, retie some lures, get some water, take a drink, eat a snack, and just chill out and start breathing. That's another thing about it. You got to keep breathing. You got to keep focusing on your breaths. And every time you do that, you become more relaxed. And what happens with the younger anglers and a lot of those anglers that are just, full of, vigor and testosterone, it's like they're physically incapable of doing that. It's just like they gotta go balls to the wall all day long. I don't care if they're driving their truck, driving their boat, fishing, whatever. That's not going to make you a better angler. That's not going to help you catch any more fish. It's doing the opposite, is exactly what it's doing. Because I remember one of the biggest pieces of advice I've ever got in my fishing career that's helped me out is what Larry Nixon told me. I was fishing with Larry. I drew him out in a tournament up at Truman Lake one year, and I was probing him for information as far as becoming a better angler. I didn't even, the tournament was like secondary to me absorbing as much info off of Larry Nixon as I could. And I just asked him, I said, Larry, what's the key to becoming a great bass angler? And he thought about it for a second. He goes, you have to fish like you just don't give a crap how it's going to turn out. And I thought about it for a while, and he's exactly right. Because when you fish out there like you don't really care if you catch one or not, Larry's talking about fishing relaxed. He's talking about taking your time. He's talking about not getting in a big hurry and just fishing like you were out fishing for fun. The biggest advice I can give you guys that are high strung out there and wired a little bit too tight, which there's a lot of them out there that are, if you're under 30 years old, you're probably, in that category, just being wired a little bit too tight, is just pretend like you're fishing practice when you're in a tournament, because most of the time you do better in practice than you do in the tournament. That's because you're more relaxed, you're more settled down, you're fishing at a little bit slower pace. I can look back at all the tournaments in my career that I've either won or had a chance to win or finished in the top 10 in. Not a single one of them has came from me fishing at this hard charging, high testosterone pace of fishing. Every one of them has been, all my high finishes, all my wins have come when I'm relaxed, when I'm focused, when my in the boat movements are slow and methodical, and everything is just chilled out. Man, that's what you have to do. So anyway, guys, that's the advice I want to give you today is, tap that testosterone down, take a chill pill, start it out in the morning on your way to the ramp, drive the speed limit, don't be passing people, taking off in the morning at a takeoff. slow it down, slow your pace down when you're fishing out there, and I promise you'll catch a lot more bass, because it's not helping you out on any level to do it the other way. So that's my 2 cents worth, guys. It came from a lot of years of experience, own personal deal. I was there. I was one of those guys that I'm talking about at one point, and I don't do that anymore, and I haven't done that for 30 years. I quit it pretty early on. When I got into my late 20s, I quit being like that. But that just comes from inexperience and being young, I think. So anyway, that's today's tip. Hope it helped you guys out down the road, and we'll talk to y'all later.